Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 essentials you need to start shooting music videos. Number 1, obviously, is going to be to get a camera. 2 cameras I'd recommend would be the GH4 and the Sony a6300. These are fantastic cameras to use when you first start out. They shoot 4K, they have great frame rates, they have amazing picture profiles so you can color grade on them. Would highly recommend one of those as a starter camera. Number 2 is going to be to get a lens. If you're shooting on the Sony a6300, which I am now with the kit lens, I'd highly recommend getting this as your first lens. It's a 30mm prime 1.4. If used with an ND filter, you can get some amazing shots outside and it will give you that excellent bokeh as well. For the GH4, you'll find some great Micro Four Thirds lenses on Amazon. Just read the reviews about them. Definitely look for a nice 24mm or 35mm prime lens. If you want to get a zoom, that's fine. Personally, I like having a prime lens just so you can get the nice bokeh in the back. This Sigma lens shoots all the way down to 1.4 aperture. If you're going to get a Micro Four Thirds lens, most likely it's going to be a 1.8 aperture, which is still really fast lens. Tip number 3 is going to be to get lights. Without any lights and the client is looking to shoot inside, then you're in for a whole nightmare. I know when you're first starting out, you probably don't think that lights are important, but they are extremely. If your client's looking to shoot inside and you basically have a lamp and my sick ass R2D2, this is what you're going to be working with the whole time, especially if you're going to be bumping your ISO up past 800 or even 1250. If you're getting into the 3300 range, then you're going to get a lot of grain in the image and it's going to just look horrible. So definitely invest in lights. It doesn't really matter what light you have, any light is going to be a good light. I'm going to leave a link down the bottom to the lights I definitely recommend. Don't go and spend $2,000 or £1,600 on an aperture 120D if you're going to get a light for £100 or £200 that's going to do the exact same thing. That's just crazy. I'd only recommend having those lights at the start if a client was renting them out. There's no need to go and blow all your money just yet on one big light when you could have got 2 Quasar Science tubes, a softbox and a couple of LEDs for the same price. But I can't stress it enough, light is extremely important. Number 4 is going to be batteries. If you're shooting outside and you only have 4 or 5 batteries, your heart's going to be in your throat all day thinking, am I going to last here? It's different if you're shooting inside and you have access to a plug to actually charge them, but most of the time you're probably shooting low budget music videos, which is going to be outside. Then I'd recommend getting at least about 6 or 7, maybe 8 batteries. If you're shooting on the Sony, then you'll have about 8 little batteries that probably last you an hour each. That's excellent. On the GH4, the battery life is actually excellent, so 4, 5 max with the GH4 also. Number 5 is going to be memory cards. Without any memory, obviously you're not going to have any footage. If your camera does require a memory card, I would not recommend getting a 128GB memory card or 256. I once had a 128GB memory card and I was out shooting all day, and when I put it in, the thing corrupted, which was just the worst feeling ever. What I would recommend is getting about 5 or 6, maybe 7 64GB memory cards, and then once one fills up, just swap it. At least that way, if one of them corrupts, then you'll still have footage on the other cards. Don't rely on one memory card to keep all your footage for the rest of the day. During a video set, if you're taking a break or anything like this, take the memory card and back it up onto your laptop or onto a hard drive. You'll find your mind's going to be at ease at the rest of the shoot. You don't need to worry driving home and thinking, I hope this memory card is going to be corrupted. Something I definitely recommend, but you don't really need, is going to be getting yourself a shoulder rig. Shoulder rigs are very versatile and they're extremely cheap. You probably get one for under £50 or under $50, especially if you're looking at companies like Newer. If you don't have a shoulder rig, your hand's going to be shaking quite a lot when you're using a camera. The footage isn't going to be that tasty looking. You can go down the route of getting a DJI stabilizer or DJI Ronin S, but they are backbreaking when you're using them all day. You're probably going to need 2 diazepam to get to sleep because your back's going to be having. So I would stay away from the stabilizer sort of things just now. I would definitely just get a shoulder pad and then just start booking as many clients as you can. Another essential I'm going to throw in is going to be to get an ND filter. You might want to shoot in 24 frames per second and have it look normal. Definitely get an ND filter. It's just like putting sunglasses over your camera lens. All these tips, they're just my advice, but I'm 100% certain that they are essential. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure to check out my other video on how to get started in shooting music videos. All the best, guys.